Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to Maggie's Magical Moon Ceremonies. First of all, I want to say thank you for your infinite grace and love over the last month. I did not record a Aries 0-degree new moon ceremony for you or a Virgo 16-degree full moon ceremony. Those occurred in the last month, and I so appreciate your grace and your love throughout. I was doing some extensive traveling and preparing for this incredible global retreat that my healing partners and I offered over the 0 degrees Aries new moon in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. It was an incredible success, very beautiful, deep healing and transformation was had by all 15 women in attendance, and it was just an absolutely epic, astoundingly beautiful in every way type of experience for all of us, and so I'm deeply grateful. So thank you for your grace and your patience, as that was quite an undertaking to hold space in that way, and I'm very grateful. I did, of course, participate in ceremony, lots of ceremony for both moons that I didn't film, and I hope that you were guided to your own ceremony to help expand your heart, help you expand into the love that you are, and expand the creation of your heart's heaven on earth. Because if you watch me, you know that's what I really believe we're all here to do now. So we have another incredible, beautiful lunar event, as they always are. This one is peaking in energies April 5th, 2023. At 9:34 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a full moon in Libra at 16 degrees. So this is really incredible energy that we're working with, and I'm going to do my best to be succinct and thorough at explaining this energy. Libra is the sign of relationships, right? It's everything before Libra, starting from Aries through Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, is about the self. It's the lower part of the zodiac wheel, right? And it's about how the self with the self, and how the self engages in the world. And then once we get into Libra, it starts to become about the self and the other. And so we had this incredible, this is the 7th full moon at 16 degrees. So 16 degrees is a degree of Holy Spirit. And it's really about, when you break down the number 16, it's about receiving 6, or harmonizing with energies of love, or our heart, to be in alignment with like our highest spiritual path forward. You know, to be aligned with what would be considered like our dharma, right? What we're here to do and be, as we move out of like these cycles of living for our karma, our patterning, right? I feel like this has been a really deeply healing full moon cycle with 7 full moons now at 16 degrees. We're healing deep karmic patterns so that we can move into alignment with our dharma, with what our spirit, what our soul is really here to do, and shine and express as the pure divine love that we all are in our essence. So what's really amazing about this full moon, and about this cycle that we're completing with this full moon, is that the first full moon in this cycle was October 9th, and it was at 16 degrees of Aries. So that's exactly opposite where this full moon is. So every time we have a full moon, we have the sun and the moon opposite one another. So with this full moon that peaks on April 5th, we have the sun at 16 degrees of Aries and the moon at 16 degrees of Libra. That's why it's a full moon in Libra, right? Well, on October 9th, we had it switched. We had the sun at 16 degrees of Libra, and we had the moon at 16 degrees of Aries, right? And now every full moon cycle since then, we've gone up through the zodiac cycle. So in November, we had a full moon and I was actually a lunar eclipse at 16 degrees of Taurus. In December, we had a full moon at 16 degrees of Gemini, and then 16 of Cancer, then 16 of Leo, then 16 of Virgo last month, and now we're at 16 of Libra. So I find this to be incredibly potent and beautiful and very, very symbolic of what we've been moving through since October. We've been clearing out like our karma about receiving love from ourselves and from our daily life, and harmonizing our energies in our daily life so that we can move on into like more of these healed, whole, healthy, beautiful humans that we're here to be. We've really done a deep healing in our relationship with ourselves. And there's so much healing energy in this moon, and there's so much healing energy for the self. And then as a result of that, there's so much healing in our relationships. So a full moon is it's a cycle completing, it's an ending, it's an illumination, something coming to light, a culmination of energy. And so that's why I feel like these 16 degrees full moons have been this energy culminating and healing about our day-to-day life, being in the middle decan. 16 degrees, our day-to-day life, and our relationship with our spiritual self, with our soul, and what we're here to do, and how we're here to receive straight to our hearts, and harmonize with the love that we are, and harmonize as the love that we are, so we can walk forward as these really whole, healthy people in our relationship to everything outside of us, right? Because Libra isn't just partnerships, relationships. It's literally the relationship that we have to everything outside of us. So I feel like we've just harmonized our inner being with all of these past full moons, with our relationship to ourselves, or we were given the template, right? As I talk about, I feel like every moon cycle is a template in consciousness served up by Mother Earth, by Source, by the planets, the stars, the asteroids, the angles, and all the aspects they make to one another. It's this big, beautiful template of energy that in its ascended consciousness is here to help us ascend. So we have that template of harmonization of the inner self available to us. And some people are like, they've been doing it along with the cycles. They've been harmonizing, they've been healing, they've been doing all of the internal work along with these full moons. And other people are, they're still healing and harmonizing in different ways, but the template's available now to the collective, so people are able to utilize this energy to help heal themselves and their karma and their patterning, and move into like a state of flow, a state of love, of harmonization with the love of the being that they are, so that we can be in our soul's highest divine timeline for this lifetime. That's what this feels like to me, and it feels like these templates were just put out in the collective consciousness with these moon cycles over the last 6 months. Now this final full moon at 16 degrees of Libra is, a lot of people are, this is a relationship full moon, right? There are things coming to light in your relationships. There are culminations. If there has been energy of the relationship needing to end, like if it's a relationship that's been on its last leg, those relationships might end at this time. But I don't believe that this is a harbinger of relationship ending full moons. I believe that this full moon more carries an energy of relationships up leveling, because you have learned to love yourself. You're not needing of your partner. You're shifting your own patterns of relating with the other. The sun is conjunct Jupiter and Chiron at this full moon. The sun has been, Chiron and Jupiter have been within orb of a conjunction since the beginning of February. And so this is like the most massive healing energy for the self that's available on the planet in a 55-year cycle, right? Because Jupiter only conjuncts Chiron every 12 years, and Jupiter conjuncting Jupiter conjuncting Chiron in Aries only happens about once every 55 years. So this window of time that we've been in since the beginning of February, and we're still in for a little while longer, where we have Jupiter conjunct Chiron in Aries, we've been able to heal ourselves, like our sweet, like individual selves, our action energy, our ego, like our behavior, like all of the masculine side of ourselves as the individual, the being that we are. We've really had the ability to heal that deeply since the beginning of February. And I know everybody that I'm talking to has been deep in this really beautiful process. It's one of the reasons why we planned our healing retreat for the time that we did in Mexico, because the healing energies in the cosmos are just so potent. And they're still with us right now with this full moon. And so we have the sun there illuminating the healing that we've moved through, the illuminating us as the healed individuals that we are in this new cycle, right? You know, we're there. We're always healing, we're always integrating more of the love that we are into our being, like the stuff that we've rejected. Like, healing is a process, and so it's not that we're done healing, but we've just moved through such a major cycle of healing of the self. And so how I see this in this full moon is that now that we've moved through that healing of the self, now we're bringing that into our relationships. And there's a lot of relationship patterning that, you know, that could be karmic for us, that could be based on our traumas, based on traumas from this life and past lives, that's really being healed and up-leveled at this time because of the work that we've been doing on ourselves. Thank you Jupiter and Chiron, and all of these full moons at 16 degrees. Another thing that really makes me believe this is we have Uranus conjunct Juno in Taurus, and Juno is the asteroid of marriage, long-term partnership, and Uranus is, you know, Uranus brings about ascension energies to whatever it touches. And so Uranus is really calling for us to up level and ascend in our partnerships and our long-term partnerships and marriages, and bring in higher frequencies of love, unconditional love. And so I just find this to be a really healing full moon around all of our partnerships, relationships, and just how we relate to the world as the being that we are, right? How we relate to what we eat, how we relate to what activities that we're involved in, how we relate to our job, how we relate to everything outside of us, especially in our day-to-day life, day in and day out life, in our local communities. There's just so much healing right now around this, and it's really beautiful, really nourishing and rich. We have a lot going on with this full moon. Like always, we also have Vesta at 25 degrees of Aries in a she's in a semi-sextile to Venus and Angel. The angelic energy of the planet is at 26 degrees of Taurus. Venus is at 24 degrees of Taurus. There's a whole lot of energy I want to talk about here, so let me try and get myself in line here. I'm working on a little bit of a head cold, so I'm a little congested, and my body is expanding into wellness right now, so I'm a little bit foggier than usual because of it, though, so please bear with me. We have this whole lineup of planets in the late degrees of their sign. So we have Neptune at 25 degrees of Pisces. 25 is the grand master degree of Pisces. It truly represents heaven on earth, right? It is literally the highest, most divine number of source energies, of how we're here to be the divinity that we are and experience divinity in everything around us. And it's really idealistic, it's really dreamy, it's really it's heaven on earth, right? Well, this energy is in a sextile to Venus at 24 degrees of Taurus and Angel at 26 degrees of Taurus. And this feels, Venus and Angel here really feel to me like us opening. Venus is how we open, us opening up even further to this beautiful angelic energy that is, you know, pouring into the planet. There's so much high frequency love and just expanded energy that's available to us now on the planet as we're all elevating and raising our consciousness and holding these higher frequencies in our body and grounding them into the planet. There's massive amounts of amazing frequencies available to us, and we're opening more and more to that with Venus there, with Angel, and we're opening to really grounding these energies here on this earthly plane, and utilizing these energies to create our heaven on earth, to be on our highest timeline. The highest timeline for us as individuals, and the highest timeline for us as humans, and the highest timeline for Mother Earth, right? This energy is also now trined into Ceres, the goddess of harvest, the goddess of Mother Earth, the goddess of nourishing and nurturing. You know, Ceres represents how we nourish and nurture ourselves and everything else around us, right? Ceres has been really active in these moons lately. She's been a real big participant, and I feel like she's really supporting this, like this nourishing, nurturing energy that we're bringing into our day-to-day life in Virgo. That's healing in Virgo, and that's really supporting our ability to open up and hold these higher angelic frequencies, our ability to nourish and nurture ourselves and just our daily experience in life. Ceres is also now opposite Neptune at this full moon, and you know, that's how we balance our ability to live in our day-to-day world, our day-to-day reality, and nourish and nurture ourselves and everything else around us, and span that day-to-day reality so we can expand up into heaven on earth. We have the asteroid Osiris is at 2658 of Virgo, right directly exact to the minute with Ceres, which is 2658 Virgo. So they're exact conjunct, and whenever you have an exact conjunct like that, it's really important. It's something to be aware of. And so I really delved deep into these two myths when I noticed that, and I really felt into it and meditated on this energy for a while. I was like, what is Ceres conjunct Osiris? You know, how is that playing into these energies? And Ceres and Proserpina and Pluto are the Roman myth, where Ceres is the goddess of harvest, and her daughter Proserpina is like her joy and her, you know, she's the light of her life. And depending on how you view the myth, either she was kidnapped by Pluto or she chose to go help in the underworld with Pluto. But basically, Proserpina ends up living 6 months of the year in the underworld with Pluto, and when she comes up to the surface, that's when we have spring, and we have this beautiful, you know, lovely spring and summertime. And then in the fall, as everything's dying away, she goes back down, and that's why everything dies away, right? Now, Osiris would be the representation of Pluto in the Egyptian myth. Osiris, he's married to Isis, and there's a long story about his brother Set killing him, chopping him up into 13 pieces. Osiris, or Isis, wanders the universe looking for the world, looking for him, and eventually puts all of his pieces back together. Forms a phallus for him as the last missing piece, and conceives their son Horus, and then he descends to the underworld to become the ruler of the underworld, because his physical body has perished. And so, you know, in these two myths, you know, I feel there's this energy of unity consciousness. When these energies are together, when Isis and Osiris are together, there's a unity consciousness, a twin flame consciousness. There's the spanning of the heaven on earth. Same with Proserpina and Ceres and Pluto. If you bring all of their energies together, it's bringing the energy of the underworld into the light of the earthly realms. Like, it's this energy of unification. There no longer needs to be the polarity of the underworld and the earthly realms, right? And as humans, when we unify our underworld or our shadow with our earthly, our light self, right? that's when we become whole in our being. That's when we become unified, and that's when we become really powerful, because there's no shadow's not right or wrong, you know. It just is, and it's a part of our being. It's just a part of our being that we've rejected. So what I'm really feeling with these, that's a long explanation to guide you to what I'm really feeling about Ceres conjunct Osiris opposite Neptune trine Venus and Angel, is that with this full moon, there's an even greater opportunity for the unification of the self. Ceres is the nurturer and the nourisher. You know, Osiris, if you switch Osiris to Pluto, which they are both the god of the underworld and they're different creation myths, you know, if you have Ceres nurturing and nourishing Pluto, all of a sudden there's no need for Prosperina to go down and live half-time in the underworld. There could be a unification of energy. And I feel like, you know, there's a way that we're able to mother and nourish our shadow, and the shadow of the world, and hold it in a different light with the energies of this moon and this time. And we're able to do that because of all the work we've done on ourselves now over the past 6 months with these full moons and with Jupiter conjunct Chiron. We've just up-leveled our ability to care and nurture for ourselves, and now we're going back and we're retrieving the lost parts of ourselves, the rejected parts of ourselves, Osiris, right? And we're retrieving those and unifying them back into ourselves. And doing that is a big, hefty process in day-to-day life. Virgo, Ceres conjunct Osiris in Virgo. And they're at 26 degrees, which is the highest degree of devotion. Like, there's a devotion about this unifying of the whole of the being right now that's being offered to us. And as we do that and we balance that, we're able to rise further into the creation of our heaven on earth. Neptune at 25 degrees of Pisces, and we're being fully supported by this graceful harmonizing energy of Venus, and we're fully supporting harmonizing and the angelic energy of the world directly trining it at 26 of Taurus. So I just feel like there's a deep, massive unification of the individual that's happening, that as a result of the healing that we've moved through, the healing of the self that we've moved through. We also have Saturn trine Mars, Mars at 5 degrees of Cancer, and Saturn at 3 degrees of Pisces. And, you know, Saturn, I feel, is calling for us to be responsible for our feelings, how our thoughts, 5 degrees, create our feelings, how our thoughts can inflame our feelings, in Mars and Cancer, how our thoughts, you know, either support us in nourishing or nurturing ourselves, actively using our mental field to do that, or work against us, again, by inflaming and aggravating our feelings. And Saturn's calling for us to be responsible for that, and to use our expansive beliefs about our spiritual story here, 3 degrees of Saturn in Pisces, like our beliefs about us as an individual, a source self, a divine being here on this planet, and our devotion to our higher elevated timeline that's really in alignment with the love that we are in every now moment. So Saturn's really just calling for us to be responsible in that way. Saturn's also in a sextile to the North Node and Mercury, the North Node at 4 degrees of Taurus and Mercury at 3 degrees of Taurus. Again, this feels like Saturn is calling for us to be responsible about our belief systems. Three is beliefs. And our belief systems about our role here on Mother Earth and how that affects our thinking, and really helping us to align our thoughts with this new elevated collective consciousness that's, you know, happening for the awakened human, right? The North Node was, you know, Uranus and the North Node crossed paths over this last year, and that's really, you know, Uranus really is calling for this ascension of the collective consciousness with that energy. And so the North Node has been activated, collective consciousness has been activated with this awakening energy. So like we're awakening, it's happening. Like, I mean, it's been happening, it's not new, but it's happening at deeper, greater, more expansive levels. And now Mercury here meeting up with the North Node, who's been activated by Uranus, is getting activated by the North Node to up level our thoughts about life here on the planet, what it's supposed to be like, what it's supposed to feel like, what do you believe is possible, right? And Saturn's as sextiled in supporting us just being more responsible in our thoughts and communications, right? It's not just our thoughts, it's how we communicate, what we talk about. So it's really, really beautiful. I started to tell you about Vesta at 25 degrees of Aries, but I didn't finish, so I'll go back there. Vesta at 25 degrees of Aries is really us devoting to awakening as an individual, as the self that we are. Vesta is where we devote our energy. 25 is the highest degree of spirit. And I really feel 25 of Aries with Vesta here is we're devoting to our awakening, our individual awakening as the beautiful beings that we are. And this is semi-sextiled into Angel and Venus at 24 and 26 of Taurus, and semi-sextiled into Neptune at 25 of Pisces. So it's dancing alongside these energies, like, you know, that all of this energy is about awakening to the true divine essence and purity of consciousness that we all are. And we're all here to bring in and ground these higher frequency energies here on the planet. So it's really cool. I think that's all I want to say. There's so much more. It's really, I mean, it's just a really beautiful time of healing. In 2 weeks we have the new moon solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aries, which is so beautiful. I love that we're finishing up this cycle, going into our new eclipse cycles, with the eclipses now being in Aries and Libra. Not totally yet, like, but that's what we're moving into. That axis, we're working on the North Node, and the South Node will be moving into Aries and Libra here soon. And when that happens, we'll fully move into the eclipses being in Aries and Libra. And so we have the first one in Aries at 29 degrees of Aries in 2 weeks. And this is such a massive, massive solar eclipse about the self, and about being in integrity with the self and who we're here on this planet to be as the individuals that we are, shining brightly as ourselves, because we all have such unique, beautiful medicine to gift ourselves, each other, this planet, you know, to bring to the awakening of the human collective consciousness and the awakening, full awakening of heaven on earth here. And we're becoming aware of that. We are a collective, and we are all one, but we're all also so uniquely individual. And being in integrity with the light, the pure source light that each one of us is that's our path to ascension, our path to awakening, is knowing thyself and living in integrity with thyself. So I just find this really beautiful. The astrology of 2023 is like the astrology of awakening. We just had Pluto move into Aquarius. I didn't even talk about that. Pluto's at 0 degrees of Aquarius with this moon, and Pluto moved into Aquarius a couple weeks ago. Really, I'm sorry, was it just last week? No, it was the week before last. And you know, Pluto is really calling for us to actually transform our vibration at like a deep level. Like, collective consciousness will no longer vibrate the same once Pluto is down in Aquarius, right? Like, the frequency of the human consciousness is changing. And there's so many things that harken this. Like Saturn in Pisces brings about the energy of like our hearts, those that have been really devoted to their spiritual past and their awakening. This is a time where your heart's heaven on earth can really start to manifest into tangible like form here in reality. I'm seeing this for a lot of people around me, and it's just so beautiful. There's there's so much awakening energy on the planet, and we're here to just continue to awaken into the pure love that we are in all of our being, more and more and more and more, and expand into it, because that's all there really is this love. So anything that doesn't feel like it is just an illusion. So I love you all. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that we were all called to be born and to exist in this time. And I'm so grateful that you are all helping in your beautiful, unique way to bring about this heaven on earth for all of us. So thank you. Let's do a little ceremony to continue to rise in these beautiful frequencies. Holy source of all that is, Mother Goddess, Father God, Holy Inner Child, beautiful archangels of the Christ-like consciousness, beautiful guardian archangels of Mother Earth, all of the amazing, incredible, beautiful, benefic energies of these earthly realms and these cosmic realms, all the realms known and unknown, all the beautiful benefic energies of Mother Earth, the sacred energies of your four directions and of your elements, your river spirits, your animal spirits, your plant spirits, all the beautiful benefic energies here, all the beautiful benefic energies of the cosmos, the ancestor spirits of this land and of our own, all of these incredible, amazing, high frequency energies that are here in these realms, helping us to ascend, helping Mother Earth to ascend. We thank you and we love you so much for joining us in this sacred container, helping us to ground our energies deep into the core of Mother Earth in every now moment, and open up to receive more and more high frequency, elevated frequency, beautiful energies. Help them to flow into our bodies, into every cell of our being. Help us to open to receive this in all states of our consciousness, in our mental field, our emotional field, our energetic field, our physical field, all states of our consciousness, known and unknown. Help us to open to receive these beautiful high frequency heaven on earth energies, and help us to ground these beautiful energies, receive them in our bodies and ground them deep in the core of Mother Earth, and expand out more and more into the love that we are. Help us to continue to awaken in every now present moment to the beautiful love that we are and the beautiful love that everything is. We thank you, beautiful energies of the cosmos, the sun, the moon, the planets, the asteroids, the angles, the stars, all of the aspects that you make to one another. Thank you for helping us to utilize the ascended energies of all of this for our ascension path, for our highest good and the highest good of Mother Earth, the highest good of all that is. Thank you for helping us to continue on this beautiful awakening path, awakening to the creation of heaven on earth here on Mother Earth, and the knowingness of the love that we are in every now moment. Thank you, beautiful, beautiful, benefic energies. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Rogue River. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, all of the beautiful benefic energies, known and unknown, said and unsaid. We love you so much, and we are so grateful for these beautiful, amazing, angelic, incredible high frequency energies as they run through our bodies and run down into Mother Earth and expand us out into love in every now moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the highest good of all, and so it is. Blessed be. Thank you, beautiful people. I love you so much. I'm so grateful, and just so grateful to be here with you. And I look forward to coming back in a couple weeks and talking more about this Aries new moon. Many blessings to all of you. Hold yourself tight and gentle. during this full moon. Remember, full moons can be emotional, so anything that you need to feel, just feel it and let it flow. It's beautiful. Many blessings to you.